Did you know that currently there are 49 countries that are surrounded by at least one other country? This number represents 1/5 or 20% of all countries in the world. But more interestingly, did you know that only 3 countries in the world are completely landlocked by another country? Two of these countries, the Vatican City and San Marino, are landlocked by Italy. The third country, Lesotho, is completely surrounded by South Africa. And while the Vatican City has an area of 0.44 square kilometers, San Marino has an area of 61 square kilometers, and Lesotho 30,000 square kilometers. Except for Bolivia and Paraguay, 2 countries located in South America, the rest of these landlocked countries are found in Africa, Europe, and Asia. Before we proceed, what is a landlocked country? What makes the Vatican City, San Marino, and Lesotho so special among the landlocked countries? Keep watching the video and you will find out shortly. A landlocked country is defined as a country entirely surrounded by land. While some of these countries have coastlines, the coastlines are only on closed seas. Rivers might run through a portion or portions of the region, and there can also be bodies of water within the country's borders, but every border is land-based, rather than water like an ocean shore. Interestingly, there are also double landlocked countries. Double landlocked countries are self-descriptive. They are landlocked countries surrounded by other landlocked countries. What this means logistically is that the residents of such countries cross 2 countries' borders to reach a coastline. Thankfully, only Uzbekistan and Liechtenstein are the 2 double landlocked countries in the world. Coupled with an inaccessibility to seaboard trade, landlocked countries miss out on potential water-based resources, such as fishing, which contributes to the economy of various countries with water access. With fishing eliminated as an income stream, landlocked countries look for other sources of income. Most landlocked countries have agricultural economies and other non-conventional but inventive sources of income. Most of the times, it is not enough. However, there are landlocked countries that manage to thrive in spite of their territorial limitations. These countries have, whether by grit or chance, overcome the challenges that come with being landlocked. In fact, some of these countries are quite wealthy. 2 of these landlocked countries that manage to succeed in spite of their lack of water borders are Austria and Switzerland. But Austria and Switzerland have advantages that make their thriving economies possible. And the most inadvertent factor would be their locations. Austria and Switzerland are European countries, which means they are geographically located on one of the richest and most developed continents in the world. Most landlocked nations are trapped in developing countries, thereby complicating their already dire situation. Interestingly, of all these landlocked countries, only 3 are completely surrounded by another country. They are Lesotho, completely surrounded by South Africa, the Vatican, and San Marino, both completely surrounded by Italy. Here are some things to know about these 3 countries. The first interesting thing about the Vatican City is its name. City is a word that naturally conjures, within the mind, an image of a buoyant, thriving metropolis. This imagination of a city is usually accompanied by the thought of a large population, as is usually found in various cities. Also, there is the thought that a city is something that exists within or is part of a country. The Vatican City is none of these things. The Vatican City is officially called Stato della Città del Vatican, which means State of the City of the Vatican. It is a sovereign city-state in itself, situated within the great city of Rome. This is an interestingly complex thought to process. A city that is in a city within a city which, itself, is within another country. This would be a confusing thing to explain in geography class. With an area of approximately 110 acres, the Vatican City is inhabited by less than even 1,000 individuals. The state was established by the Lateran Treaty in the year 1929, and its territory comprises of a landlocked enclave situated within the capital city of the nation of Italy, i.e. Rome. The Pope rules the Vatican City, whereas the Catholic clergymen of varying national origins perform the functions of the state functionaries. The Vatican City is the smallest country in the world in the context of area. This country does not even have an embassy. It is the Holy See who conducts the diplomatic tasks of the Vatican City, and the foreign embassies are situated in the city of Rome. The Vatican City is a national antique museum of European history. It is one of the most important places in the world in respect to human history. UNESCO's list of World Heritage Sites include the Vatican City, which means that it is the only complete state to have this honor bestowed upon itself. The Kingdom of Lesotho is a landlocked country within South Africa. It is undeniably the largest of the 3 independent states that are completely landlocked by other countries. It is also the poorest of the 3 countries. Ruled by a monarchy, the Kingdom of Lesotho has had a rather tumultuous history. The citizens of where is now known as Lesotho were in violent disagreement with British rule, so they were not included in South Africa with the more compliant populace. While the resistance of external country over a free people's politics is admirable, it would come back to haunt the Kingdom of Lesotho. The antecedent to the Republic of South Africa was the Union of South Africa. The Union was founded in 1910 as an amalgamation of 4 separate colonies: Cape, Natal, Transvaal, and the Orange Free State. But the odd thing was that Lesotho, then called Basutoland, was not included. By 1810 to the 1820s, King Moshoeshoe had consolidated the various Basotho people into one group. Wars with the Boer settlers broke out periodically, and the Basotho kept losing territory. Moshoeshoe finally asked the British for help in dealing with the Boers, submitting to become a British protectorate called Basutoland. After Moshoeshoe's death in 1870, the British tried to annex Basutoland to Cape Colony, but the Basotho people vehemently resisted the colonial authorities. This resistance directly led to the Gun War of 1880 to 1881, causing the British to grant the Basotho people self-government. It is that self-government that they enjoy until today. However, Lesotho is a poor country. About half of her labor force work in South Africa due to the extreme unemployment within Lesotho. The country's only export of real worth is textiles, which are exported to the USA courtesy of the AGOA agreement. The textile industry is the country's biggest employer. There have been pleas within the country to South Africa for annexation. Before we explore the final country, kindly take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. San Marino is a small country in the northern Italian region of Emilia-Romagna. Emilia-Romagna is one of the 20 regions which Italy is made of. That is to say that San Marino is such a small country that it is completely landlocked in another country's region. The Republic of San Marino is the world's 5th smallest and Europe's 3rd smallest country. Its territory is just over 61 square kilometers. San Marino's capital city is officially called Città di San Marino, or City of San Marino in English. San Marino is the world's longest surviving republic. In 257 AD, a stonecutter named Marinus from the island of Rab in Dalmatia, today Croatia, arrived in Rimini. He lived on Mount Titano as a hermit, and his strong Christian faith soon attracted several followers who set up a monastic community. Marinus passed away in 301 AD, leaving Mount Titano to his followers and thus founding the state of San Marino. But San Marino wouldn't become an autonomous state until the late 13th century. The historic center of the city of San Marino dates back to that time. In the 15th century, San Marino received more territories as reward for fighting on the side of the Duke of Urbino against the Lord of Rimini. The arrival of the French Emperor Napoleon in the 18th century finally granted San Marino several economic liberties. And in 1862, San Marino was recognized for the first time as a sovereign state with the signing of a treaty with Italy's King Vittorio Emanuele II. Which landlocked country did you find most fascinating? Let us know in the comment section below.